Hey guys, Aaron here. This is my 1997 Lotus Elise S1 and the brake lights just stopped working when I went in to get it inspected. No idea why, so I'm gonna dig in, try to figure it out. I'm gonna try to figure out why my brake lights don't work. Hopefully it's just bulbs, so let me go figure out how to take them out and see if they are burnt out. This is a 1997 Lotus Elise S1 and behind the door is the little pull to open up the rear of this. And the little trunk liner just folds up, fits into that slot there to hold this open. So I should be able to reach them from behind, it says. As always, this is my first time doing this, so let me figure this out as I go. All right, this little piece just lifts out. Clips here. All right, so we can get back here now. Turn my camera around, look at a little light on, and we can see that is where our tail lights are now. So this little connection right here should be my brake light. Down on the tab, pull back to disconnect it, and I think this just twists. Yep, you twist it a little bit and pull it out. And let me go inspect this bulb. Yep, bulb is fine, unfortunately. If the problem was the bulb, it's super easy. You just push it in, down, and twist. That little guy right there will pop right out. You can see that little tab. Put a new one in, push it down to twist, lock it back into place. Replace this unit and your brake light bulb is fixed. If it's not your bulbs, you can open the front of this thing. Right here is the little fuse panel. You just pull this tab back a little bit to unlock this end. Same thing with the tab over here. To unlock the other end, you can take the cover off of your fuse panel. And your reverse light is the 7.5 one in the 8th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is this 7.5 right here. You have a little fuse puller right here. Pull it out and you can check that little piece of metal, that little S shape in there, and this fuse is fine. I actually swapped it with this one up here, the other 7.5, because I knew that the turn signals worked. That's what that one is. And yep, so that was not my problem. All right, on an Elise S1, the brake light switch is behind the brake pedal. When the brake pedal gets compressed, it pushes this little switch, I guess. But I had to research this forever and nobody had any pictures that showed me where in the world this thing was, just close-ups of it that were not helpful. So if you come under the front bonnet and you go behind your brake fluid reservoir under the windshield, if you look back in here, you see the purple and green wire, and you can see that it is tilted from the way we're looking at it a little bit to the left. So if we turn it to the right or clockwise as we're facing it and then pull it out, it will come out. So I reach under here and I'm going to rotate this to my, well, okay, I guess it's going counterclockwise from the wires, but rotate it to the right there and pull it out. And there's a little hole back there that this thing fits into like that. It's got all these little ridges on it, kind of like it's threaded. So I guess you can put it in at different depths before locking it into place. Mine was all the way in as far as it went. I took this thing out, tried pressing on this, messing with it out of the car, or like this. Never got my brake lights working, so I'm thinking that this switch is just dead. It looks a little weird. And I can pull it out and disconnect it here. So I'm gonna order me a new one of these switches and hopefully that solves the problem. All right, so to continue my troubleshooting, what I did is I took a screwdriver and I popped out this little panel, and I found that there was a spring right here behind the panel that goes up to the plunger, and I could push in either direction, pushing the back of the plunger. I just used a big thick Allen key, pressed on that, and it was not moving in either direction. So I stubbornly put it here and put a lot of pressure down until it finally plunged in some. So I don't know if you can see how much of a difference this is. Let me try to show you. All right, so I took a big Allen key, stuck it in the back here, and pressed the plunger. So let me show you. It goes up that much, down that much, up, down. So not a whole lot, but there's an audible click that you can hear when it does that, and I assume the spring, when you release it, is supposed to be strong enough to push it back out so that it would work like this. So I'm going to take some brake parts cleaner, spray this thing out, try to clean it, try to get it to be a little less sticky. All right, here's our part, brake cleaner. And just gonna oh, looks like that is the small end that must touch the plunger. I think the big end goes on the back here. Let's try to put this back together and see what happens. All right, so our spring is nice and tight here. Just gonna clip that back in. It is definitely much more functional than it was before. I can still pull it out a little bit further than the spring is pushing it out. That's a little concerning. Let me go test continuity on this. All right, let me get my multimeter and continuity test going here. Touch these two leads. And we have continuity, so by default, this is on, I heard. And then when you press this, it should go off, and it does. And then you let the button back out, and it goes back on. Let me do this a few times. Off, on. All right, so I think we may have fixed it. Let's throw it back in the car and see what happens. On, off, on, off, on, off. Yes, solved a problem, didn't have to buy anything, so I'm super excited about that. I found out that they weren't working because I did not pass my inspection because I had no brake lights. So back to the inspection site and gonna go pass. So thanks for watching, guys. I will post some more videos on this car as I'm about to do a full suspension refresh on it. So subscribe to the channel, click that little bell notification. You'll be notified when that happens. Give the video a thumbs up if you don't mind, especially if this helped you guys out. And I appreciate all of the comments. So thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next video.